All right. So, no idea what the quality of. I think the audio is okay. Um, I have got chat going. I don't know what the quality is like. The video quality is okay. I think it's quite a bit latency, like 8 seconds. Um, and so what I've got is a Neo Geo, which has an IPS display, and along with that IPS display, I've got a flash cart, which is a bit cheeky. But what happens is when I try and boot this up, it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because I think it's drawing too much power. So if I give it kind of a bench supply of power, then it runs. And if I put batteries in, which is this thing looking pretty scary, it might boot for a while and then it will just crash. So I think that what's happening is it's pulling too many amps. Either the battery can't provide it, or part of the circuitry does not like the amps being pulled. I was doing a test last night, and I was able to drop the voltage down to about 2 volts. So this typically takes 3 volts. Taking about 2 volts, and it was pulling from my bench supply about 250 milliamps. I don't know if these batteries can supply 250 milliamps. And this really sketchy bit of sellotape was my attempt to try and put my multimeter in between and work out what the amperage that was being pulled off of these batteries, but I couldn't work out how to do it properly. It was late night. Anyway, so I've got a new plan. My new plan is to take this device, this bit of kit that you can see in the microscope. So, I'm doing a good job of that. But this small little debris. This is a power regulator for a Game Boy Color, or a Game Boy Pocket or Game Boy Color. So what happens with this in the Game Boy is that you get 3 volts coming into the side here and 5 volts coming out the other side here. So my plan is to put that in between the batteries, and then using an LDO, this guy, so a 7333A, it will put the voltage back down to 3.3 volts. So the idea is I'm going to use a boost from however much power the batteries provide me to 5 volts, and then drop down to 3 volts, and then let the power continue through the circuit. Don't know how well this is going to go. I'm not going to spend longer than an hour streaming, because it can be a bit boring after a while, and it might fail horribly. I might completely hose the board. I do have a second Neo Geo board here, so I think I might practice on this one first, and really if I can get the steady 3 volts coming straight off of the board, then I'll be happy. I do know from this board that I managed to trace the power. Just get the power in focus. So I need a pointy debris. Hold on a second. So the problem is there's no schematics for the Neo Geo Pocket. This test point here, this is the regulated 3 volts. I'm not totally sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's a regulator of some sort. So at this point, we've got 2.9 volts or 2.7 volts from the batteries. And at this point, when it comes out of this component, we've got 3 volts, 3 steady volts. So I could take the input there, or rather on the other side of the resistor, take this component off, and then drop the boosted 3.3 volts into here. And I'm estimating that 3.3 volts is not going to blow any of the components on the board, but I don't want to run 5 volts into it because my guess is that probably the CPU itself isn't safe for 5 volts, but I would hope that 3.3 volts is okay. So my LDO is a like I said, 7555, so 7555, 7333, which is supposed to be putting out 3.3 volts. So that's that. Oh, did that not work? I don't know if I'm sharing the right. Yeah, I'm not sharing the right link. I'm going to copy the link that I just got from Discord. Hang on a second. Right. And let's do the same thing over on the other socials. So I'm going to fire up the, what's they call it? Right, so I've got my what do we call them? The hot thing, the hot proddy thing. Soldering iron. Got the soldering iron going, and yeah, I'm not going to use my board that I want to have working just to start off with. I'm going to use the board that also works, but I'm happy to kind of mess up if it does mess up. So I think taking this guy out is going to be my plan. I need to clear some of my desk. It is a complete bomb site. I've got scissors and sharp things all over the place. I've already misplaced the LDO. It's on the cartridge. There we go. Let's put that over there. Right. So should I take this out of the case before I desolder? I think I'm gonna leave it in there. I think it'll be alright. So I was thinking briefly that maybe I could put a LiPo battery in there that could provide me a steady voltage, but it doesn't fit. So we're just going to take this thing to pieces. Right. So let's get some flux onto the component to start off with. Where am I going? Is this one? IC3. So I would probably do this with a hot plate, but there's a lot going on my desk at the moment, so I'm going to do it with a soldering iron and some soldering wick. I need some tweezers because the amount of times I've burnt my fingers with soldering wick, I cannot count. I've lost count. And let's get this guy off, shall we? I could do with some fan, but the fan's right next to the microphone, so I won't do that. Alright, and let's do the other side. I don't know if this is actually getting off. So I don't know what this component is. I think it's. I don't think it's an LDO because an LDO doesn't boost the voltage. It stabilizes it. So God knows how I'm going to get this off now, am I? I guess I'm just going to have to try and heat the entire thing. See, I don't really know what it is, but I do know that it's putting out 3 volts on the other side. That's not working. I need a sharper... tools. So let's give that another try. Let's try and get this off. I need to lift it whilst I'm heating it up. It's probably a bad idea, but it's how I'm doing it. Like I said, I probably would have used the hot air station. There we go. Not hot air station, the other one. The hot plate. Okay, right, so that's off. Oh God. Let's not lose that. So this is the leg in, this is the input, that's the output, and that's the ground. Alright, let's clean it up. I mean, the problem with going in here, this particular point, is that it's right underneath the battery compartment, and the battery compartment really doesn't have room for this fella to be poking up. So I'm probably going to kind of slide it over here somewhere. Right, so next up is to get this wired up. I need to work out which side on the right is ground. I'm pretty sure. So this is the original Game Boy regulator, and this thing kind of, I don't know if you're seeing it in the other video, but this thing sits on top and gives us a steady voltage. So going by the readings, I think that the top one is ground. So I'm going to just top one's ground, so we would expect the capacitor to be attached to ground as well. Okay, I'm just going to sanity check that. I don't think you can see it very well in the video. I've got a capacitor, multimeter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not pretty sure. They both go to the cap. And I think it's that one. I think that this thing sits on top like that. Yeah, because it's spitting out the VCC, which is 5 volts, and those 3 pins go to there. So ground is at the top. VDD. I can't remember what D stands for, but yeah. Right. So input voltage is the bottom one. Let's move this out of the way for a second, and let's pop this here. So I'm going to connect up the LDO to this thing, and I think I'm going to have to check the pins on an LDO. I'm pretty sure that, in fact I'm certain that this pin is ground, this middle pin is input, and this pin is output. So I'm going to put that there, that ground there, and yeah, that should work. Right, okay, let's just tin this for a second. Soldering iron. The soldering iron is really kind of like precariously pathed through a lot of objects, a lot of wires. So ground at the top. That's the LDO input. You might as well tin the other, and that's the 3 volts input from the battery. Let's get So at this point, I'm just kind of connect it up so that it hopefully works. So ground, input, and then this is the output. So let's go back to this guy. This guy? Why is it a guy? Who knows? Alright. I think what I'm going to do is just have some wires kind of poking out from it, because if I don't, I'm going to solder it all tight, and actually I want to get rid of the wires at some point, so I need to grab me some wires which are behind my laptop. What do I need? I need 2 red wires. Excuse me, while I cut over your head. So do you want to see this up close? How well can you see this? I don't know if the camera can see it. This is how much latency there is. I'm waiting until the feed is showing you this thing. Oh, it's not really doing the job, is it? Maybe that video. There you go. There. Oh my god. So yeah, that's that. Right, and now what I'm going to do is wire this into the input, and this into the input, the whatever it's called, the Neo Geo. And just to start off with, I'm going to measure using multimeter what the value is off of that leg. I don't know how well you can see that as well. That leg. So where do I want to solder this to? I think it's this bit here. Yeah. Right, it's 10. Those two. Where's my solder gone? Nice. I have just created oh, there we go. Yep. A bridge. That's not what we wanted. We did not want a bridge. And now I'm going to solder the wire, which I've just lost already. And I'm going to put the wire into, oh my god, my hand's all over the place. Let's do this. I'm missing. There you go. Okay. So that's the input. Which is not soldering onto my my hack. I mean, that's connected, but it's very, yeah, really tenuous. That's a bit better. Alright, and then I need another wire, which I've got here. Oh my god. I don't know if I cut that off before or if it was just laying around. I need a wire for the ground as well, don't I? Yep, let's get the ground in. Where am I going to take that from? Maybe the edge of a capacitor. I love that some people have dropped in and be like, I don't know what's going on here. If you have the comments and you're watching this, can you tell me what the image quality is like and if it's terrible or not? Because if it's terrible, I'd like to do something about it. But I doubt if I can do anything during the feed, so there's that. So I'm just looking for ground that's nearby, and I'm pretty sure it's there, isn't it? There you go, ground, got it. That's 10 for ground. one day I'm going to drop the soldering iron on myself and burn myself. But today is not that day. I have dropped the iron on a table before and melted the table. It took me a while to work out what the smell was. Right. I'm getting more wire, which again is directly behind the computer. Let's clip that. Image quality is good. Thank you, Drunk Strawberry. That is very useful. Okay, so let's get the ground and then connects up to the regulator. I mean, I know like there's going to be all this work. You know what's going to happen, don't you? It's just not going to work. And we would have wasted our lunch times. That is not soldered. There you go. Oh my god, I need to move my soldering iron. I'm going to really just melt something that shouldn't melt. Right. Sorry, I just closed my door. Okay, so let's get that into the ground, which is the other side. Oh, yeah, there you go. See, it pops straight off. Up it. A bit better. Let's get that onto there. Yeah, I just banged my finger with a soldering iron. I guess if you can do it quickly enough, then you won't burn yourself, but still not a fan. I know you can't really see what I'm doing right now. What I need to be doing is tinning the wire. Which is not what I'm doing. Are connected? Yeah, it's connected. Okay. So let's see if I can get it in view. Right. I mean, so we got the ground going in off the board. We got the voltage in. So this is supposed to be whatever 2.9 volts, whatever the battery's going to give me. And this will boost it to 5 volts, and then go through the LDO, and the LDO should settle it down to 3.3. That's the theory. So I am going to grab a clamp wire, crocodile clip, just stick it on that. Oh, these are so tough. I'm going to inject. I'm going to use my bench apply to give it the 2.9 volts. That's the problem. The bench supply does do a great job of supplying the power, and the Neo Geo runs, but as soon as it goes to batteries, it then can't. I don't know. It just doesn't like the draw, and I'm pretty sure it's because it can't sustain. I feel like it can't sustain the amp draw and the spikes. So I'm going to be testing this wire here, and let's get rid of that thing. Right, let's give it. I've got 2.9 volts, or well, 3 volts going in. I'm going to attempt to turn this on. I've got a battery clicker. Oh no, it won't. Oh yeah, it won't turn on because the power's disconnected. But I'm going to stick that into ground. Let's put that there so you can see it. And that there. Oh my god, what we got? And we've got fucking diddly shit. We've got an example of something that didn't work. Right, okay. I did mention this probably wouldn't work. A up, okay, so we've got, I should be seeing 3 volts there. I'm not seeing any volts. 3 volts, no volts, no volts. 3 volts, no volts. Why do I have, can you see that? Do I need the light off? Is that better? It's pretty fine, isn't it? I've got a resistor, 3 volts, which is coming from the bench. It's going straight into the resistor, coming out the other side as 0. See, this is why I shouldn't be allowed to do hardware, because I've got no fucking clue what I'm doing. Alright, how about we just solder it and wire it up and see what happens. I mean, I want to say what's the worst that could happen, but literally the worst that could happen is that this Neo Geo breaks permanently. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Right, I need some more wire. Alright, going back over the laptop. Okay. How are we doing? Half an hour. I don't think I'll have enough time to put this, if this works, I don't think I'll have enough time to put it into the real Neo Geo. But I think I will get to the point where I get upset that it didn't work. Alright, let's get this down. Might get a bit of solder onto there. Where are my tweezers? So on my desk right now, out of camera, off camera, I've got so many half-baked projects. There is a Game Boy macro that worked, but the buttons, the actual button, oh no, it's going to bridge. The actual buttons, oh yeah, bugger. Didn't reach, so it didn't not work, it's just that the, oh go away. Oh my god. It's just painful to watch. What was I saying? Anyway, so the Game Boy macro doesn't work because the shell I made for it does not reach the buttons. But it works, and it looks quite neat. I moved the using a person called Faceless Tech. They made a mod that moves the entire cart slot further in, which is quite neat. And I have multiple Game Boy cameras on my desk that don't work. I have not a great hand for steady soldering. Oh man, I don't think I've sworn yet, but I'm gonna. And if I have sworn, then that just proves how often I swear and I forget that I'm doing it. I have two Pokemon minis sitting on my desk waiting to be fixed. I have 2 Neo Geo Pockets. One of them is mine and one of them is this one. I think I need to stop talking because I'm not doing a very good job of getting this on, am I? Right, let's trim that a bit. Is this actually attached? It is, isn't it? You know what? I'm going to attach to the other side of the resistor because it's a slightly larger. The resistor is a slightly larger target, so I'm going to attach to that. Just going to add some solder. Since this is the, I'd say, rough draft. Oh my god, come on. There you go. Attached, attached. That ground is not attached, is it? For fuck's sakes. It's just because I've got a really awkward position on the oh, for heaven's sakes. On the whole thing. Oh my god, this is a mess. Yeah, this is an absolute mess. Alright, let's get this wire in, shall we, without melting everything around it. Bloody ache, that was painful, wasn't it? I'm not even done. I need to just check that I haven't bridged those two connections. I don't think I have, but I have. Brilliant. Ah, you doofus. Can you see it in the microscope view? I thought I was making good time. I spent 10 minutes just faffing with that, haven't I? Right, let's lift this up. Let's get that out of the way. Try and sort out this. Yeah, there's our bridge. Bridging. Let's get rid of the bridge. Bridge be gone. Good. Now, let's attach without bridging. I know my test point is now got solder on it, which is not something I want, but I can live with it. Right, let's retest to make sure I haven't got another bridge, because short circuits will absolutely guarantee. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. So these two are not bridged anymore. Right, so ground is definitely on ground. Yep, ground. That's on the power. That is not on the power. Yep. So I'm testing on the regulator, and then I need to connect this wire to our LDO. This isn't going to work, is it? If anyone knows electronics, I say no. I mean, not many of you there, but if you know electronics and you can see that I'm going to fail, do you mind telling me early? Alright, that is wired up. So I've got a view that you can't see. I've got just in the corner, off screen, is my bench supply. I don't think I can bring it any further forward, it's by a wire. So what I'm going to do is power it up with these crocodile clips. And I'm looking at the amps that it's going to draw, because if something's wrong, it's going to start drawing more amps than it should do. I'm expecting it to draw about 0.01, 0.04 milliamps. No, 4 milliamps. Yeah. Oh fuck it! Should I just turn it on and see what happens? All right, let's turn it on. Let's put power in. Okay, so power's gone in. Got 3 volts. Hasn't blown up. I haven't powered on the Neo Geo yet, but let's have a look at the multimeter again and see if we've got a voltage. I don't think we will have a voltage, but I will check it here. Oh no, we do have a voltage. 2.7, which is not what I was hoping for. I've wired this right, haven't I? Yeah. So let's check the test point. 2.7 volts. That's supposed to be 3.3. The LDO is supposed to be giving me 3.3. Is this just... Alright. Just turn it on, see what happens. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think I've made a mistake. I've just pressed the power button on the other side. This fucking thing never turns on. I have sworn now. We're expecting an LED. No, there's the LED. I mean, it's powered on. It's drawing the right voltage, but I think that my hack has not done what I thought it would do. I think, if we just check that test point. So I've still got the same voltage. And it does kind of work with this weird jerry-rigged thing attached. But I was hoping that I would get 3.3 volts out of the LDO. So nothing's hot, which is good, I guess. But the I consider this a, I guess, what, buck converter? But I don't think it is. I've got a feeling, got a distinct feeling that actually it was expecting 6 volts from one of these. My feeling is VDD was going to be 6 volts, and actually it's dropping it to 5. And this is a step down, not a step up. Which means that this this component, is not doing what I thought it was. I thought it would give me 5 volts, and that's why I put the LDO in between. So the 5 volt thing in the middle is completely pointless. And yeah, total waste of time. I guess this means that I can just, if I want to try it in the real, my working Neo Geo, I just can use the LDO by itself. But I don't see any reason why this would. Well, yeah, it's not giving the steady 3 volts anyway. It's it's just passing out the input voltage, which is like 2.7, whereas the component I had in there before that I took off, this thing, this was bringing it up to 3 volts. Oh, poo. Okay. But I still think it's this that prevented the it doesn't let the amps draw enough, and I think that I don't know. I thought the audio was the way to go, but I don't know. Well, that was it. Didn't get comics working. That said, I had one comment, which is not comment but chat. 40 minutes is alright, isn't it? So I'm gonna skedaddle. I don't know if this was interesting, or you're just listening to my smooth tones, or if it was just a crappy delayed feed. But I am gonna go, and I think out of all the handheld devices, the Neo Geo is the one I dislike the most because it's been an absolute pain in my backside. Yeah, but I'd like to try and do some more streaming of hardware stuff. I've done it in the past, but I think my technique is a little bit haphazard, which I think is probably me to a T. Alright, I'm out. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching.